What are you guys saying? You guys were commenting in yesterday's video saying I got a new haircut. I've had this haircut for like 6 days. My hair hasn't changed at all. What's wrong with you guys? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. My name is GBay99. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today, I was actually going to release a video that was going to be a super high quality video that I've been planning on releasing today, and I was very, very excited to do it, but turns out it's taking a little bit longer to finish, so we're going to push that back another day or so. But today we have another very good video that I am very excited to talk about. Today, I want to talk to you guys a bit about identity in League of Legends again. Now, longtime viewers of the channel will know this is something I've talked about plenty of times before. In pretty much every game I play, I love to get some sort of sense of identity out of the characters that I play. In League of Legends, I love finding a character like Aurelia that I can go super in depth with, that I love playing over and over and over for hundreds of games and thousands of hours, and figuring out every little thing about the character so I know more than most people do and get a bit of identity from it that I am that Aurelia player. The same goes for Rivals of Aether. I really like that I can play that game and get a sense of identity in the character that I play. Very quickly, I found my Aurelia in that game Maple, who is a fighter that is very underutilized, that not a lot of people think is very good, but actually has, I think, one of the best tech in the game and has one of the best strategy in the game, that is a really, really underdeveloped character that most people don't really know how to play against her, and I can surprise a lot of people with how well I can play her, and that's a very exciting thing, a very fun thought. I think part of the reason that I might feel this way about games is because I started playing League of Legends back in Season 1, which is a time where the game felt like this was a much more prevalent attitude. You can think back to obvious examples of people like Hotshot GG, who always played Nidalee, Cho'Gath, and Galio, and were able to carry competitive games like that, but it felt like pretty much everyone, especially in top and mid lane, had that one champion. Big Fat GG's Rumble, even like Reginald's Gragas, Westrice's Akali, Wicked's Aurelia, Chaox's Aurelia. There were a lot of players out there that got a lot of identity and were kind of known for being ridiculously good at the game at one specific champion, and it felt like they got a lot of identity out of it all, which is something that kind of inspired me. However, this is something that isn't nearly as prevalent as it once was, and that's kind of come from a few factors. One being that people are just getting better at the game, and the game is a lot less about working on your own to outplay someone 1 versus 1 and outskill someone with your champion's mechanics, with your knowledge of the champion and the matchup and everything, and shifting towards much more team play. In League of Legends, there's no longer a big focus on being a super good solo player. You're not supposed to focus on 1v1ing your opponent in mid lane or top lane unless there's like an opportunity that very clearly comes up. The focus is to play with the team, and because of that, the focus has also shifted away from the champion and shifted more towards the role. If you're looking for identity in League of Legends, you don't really get it anymore from the champions that you play, but rather the role that you play. It's not about being a super good Aurelia player, but rather being a super good top laner that can take multiple champions top lane and knows the basic understanding of how to play top lane to a point where he can outskill his opponents. This is partially because of all the champions that you see that are OP in the meta, and partially because the focus isn't so much anymore as running whatever you're good at top lane, but rather running either a juggernaut or a tank or whatever the meta or your team kind of needs. Competitive play has evolved a lot over the years, and that's sort of been reflected in solo queue and how people perceive solo queue champions and how they play the game. And because the focus has shifted away from how skillfully you can play your champion and is instead focused on how skillfully you can play your role and your knowledge of the game and your understanding of the game and what your team needs from you and how you can fulfill that, if you're trying to get that kind of enjoyment out of, oh, I'm a super good Aurelia player who can do all these crazy cool things, watch me, then you're not going to have a very fun time. This is actually pretty interesting to take a look and see how League of Legends has evolved over the years and how the game has changed in such a dramatic way, and it might actually serve as a bit of an explanation why a lot of older players are saying they don't find the game as fun anymore, because the game really has changed a ton. If some of these older players like myself don't evolve with the game and understand how the game has changed and the kinds of funs that you get out of the game have kind of changed over time, then it's definitely going to feel like much more of a chore to play League of Legends, and it's not going to feel like the fun, expansive game it once was. Anyway, though, I hope you guys all enjoyed watching today's video. I will, of course, see you all tomorrow, but until then, thank you very much for watching. Good luck in solo queue, and have a wonderful day.